What's up, you guys? It's Jason here from RPM, and today we're going to be taking a look and listening to some sound clips of the chambered muffler on our Polaris 9R. The 9R also shares a muffler with the 850 naturally aspirated sleds, so when you check out, you'll have to select which one you want. And we're going to go into detail on why that is and what makes ours a little bit different. So this is our chambered or mechanically chambered muffler for the 9R. This is a cut open, and essentially what it is a series of mechanical chambers, there's no packing in this muffler, that allow it to deaden the noise. This is complete titanium construction, and we won't go into crazy detail on how and why we do things, but anyone wondering, these are flow tested. They are tested in our engineering software as well for flow, and each model is designed internally depending on how much the motor makes for air volume. So there's a lot of math that goes on, maybe a little bit of science too, on each of these mufflers. And essentially what Polaris did is, it was, the 9R was developed during COVID times. It shares the same muffler as the 850. So you're thinking to yourself like, wow, it's 50 cc more and makes how much more horsepower than that thing, and it flows through the same exact muffler? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Seems like there might be a restriction, or was the 850 muffler too big? So that's kind of where we got involved, and we developed our mufflers based off of what we know, and that's a lot to do with stroke, compression, bore size, RPM. There's a lot of things that go into play when designing a muffler, especially on these NA sleds. Turbo sleds a little bit easier. NA sleds, trying to get volumetric efficiency, back pressure, gas flow, stuff, all that comes into play when we're designing a muffler. And we'll show you some clips, and on our website there's a few clips or maybe some images that kind of show you how we look for exhaust flow, dead spots, heat spots, and all that. So, and again, they're still bench flow tested on the SuperFlow bench, and we flow stock ones, ours, we've flown other people's mufflers. So I know a lot of people don't know who we are in the snowmobile industry, but I can assure you that we do know what we're doing. I've been a backcountry snowmobile rider for a decade now. I've done snowmobiles my entire life, and it's actually how RPM got started, was in the snowmobile industry and not the side-by-side industry. But we are well known in the side-by-side industry because we also build chambered mufflers for UTVs as well. So stainless and titanium exhaust are not new to us, and our engineering background for building those mufflers is not new to us either. So the 850 and 9R muffler are exact duplicate as far as the muffler body itself goes. Obviously the exit port, intake stingers, runners, all of that stuff's going to be different. Your mounting, your O2 or exhaust heat temp sensor locations, all going to be different. But they're all built specifically for each sled based off the data we've collected and the data that we've logged. All of our exhausts are going to have dual wall tips. So we try to make sure that the exhaust is completely flush with the body line. Not so much flush. If it does, they do protrude a little bit, and they have to because we don't want to burn belly pans, especially if you're running a skid plate. But what we do is, as we do have to protrude some, is that this is actually a dual wall. So it's the inner pipe of the exhaust itself, and then we actually weld a second ring all the way to the snow plate that really just protects it from rocks. So these can take a beating. Moving on, and we do have a snow plate. So what this does is, on the turbo sleds and some NA sleds also, you hear a lot of guys that are like, it bogs in deep snow. Well, if you sink your sled in deep snow and it's sitting there running, the exhaust is just going to take the path of least resistance. So when there's just the muffler going through the belly pan of the sled, the exhaust just comes back up into the hood or the body of the sled per se, and what it does is intakes exhaust fumes, and it turns out that burnt exhaust isn't exactly the best form of fresh air. So that's where you get a lot of bogs and stuff, and we try to prevent that by using some really tight sealing and flush mounting snow plates. And then all of our hardware and exhausts are all welded both sides. Like, we're not leaving anything untouched. So we weld here, everything's double welded. All of our flanges and stuff, we try to replicate the OEM ones. So a lot of guys would just make this mount flat. Well, we actually stamped it so it holds the grommet correctly. That's kind of the construction of our muffler. So you take a look in there and you can kind of get a quick little glimpse on how a mechanical muffler works. Each snowmobile is going to be slightly different in the sense of how many holes it has, what size these holes are, where this chamber is located based on where the inlet and exit are on the muffler. So they can all look a little bit different, but essentially what you have is you have exhaust gas coming in. It's going to hit the bottom chamber, come out, hit the top chamber, and then exit to the exhaust. And while it's doing all of that, it's also diffusing within the muffler body itself. So a lot going on, and they can be a little bit confusing, but what we want to make sure is that these are extremely light and extremely quiet. Quite possibly the quietest exhaust on the market, and maybe even some of the lightest as far as chambered mufflers go. We do sell sport versions of these that aren't chambered, a little bit cheaper, but they're a little bit louder as well. So that's a chambered muffler, and that's a breakdown of how they are built, why we built them the way they are built, and what they do. So these are super sick, super nice, and you can pick them up at RPMSxS.com. And I know you guys came for the sound clips. Here's the sound clip.